country. This time, this one we're like the first one yesterday. We're sticking to Central Asia. Yeah, today's country is Kyrgyzstan. And yeah, here we go. Excuse me, just eating all. Now, the first traces of human activity on the territory of Kyrgyzstan goes back to the early Paleolithic period, and the first mark of this time was a monument of stone tools found by an AP Okladnikorim in 1953. Sorry if I mispronounce everything. In the central Tian Shan, on the left bank of a river on Archer, and the technique was used on these tools, indicating that they may have been about 300,000 years old, years ago. And similar tool making technique was found in Kyrgyzstan in the south of what is now Kyrgyzstan. As a nomadic people occupied Central Asia in the last 1,000 years BC, and were called the Sakaz, and they were a warlike tribe that played an active role in the political developments of Central Asia in the first millennium BC. And in the 3rd century BC, the territory of Central Asia was dominated by the Empire of the Huns. And in 201 BC, Moadun was overseen by Gergun, or Kyrgyz, which was located in the eastern Tian Shan, part of Madonia, which was also an important initial milestone in the history of Kyrgyzstan for the Kyrgyzstan people, Kyrgyz people. In Chinese Chronicles of 201, the first time the word Kyrgyz was mentioned, and the successor were the Suns. Yeah. Sack's successor was Suns, taken after the 7 rivers. This Hungaria and central Tian Shan, when they created an empire of one of the world's oldest states. Sen ruled Kyanbag from like 71 BC, formed an alliance with the Khan Empire and together defeated the Huns. And during that time, Kyrgyzstan was a state of Divan Empire in the Fergana Valley. As Divan, in old Persian sources, Parkana was a densely populated empire, and was known for its famous Fergana. Yeah, new phone. Yeah, Samsung Galaxy A6. Yeah. Still working it out. And was known for the famous Fergana horses, which China tried to get for their own cavalry. Yeah, in the middle of the 7th, 6th century in Altai. The Turk Empire from 551 to 744 was formed, and in 70 AD the empire reached the pinnacle of their power. The territory stretched from the north Kyrgyzstan to the plains of the upper reaches of the Yenisei River to the headwaters of the Amudaya. And in the year 603 there was an official part of the Turkic power in the east and west Kaganates, and the West Khanate from 603 to 704 was formed in the year 746. It was invaded by Karluk. As Karluk was a state that consisted a strong alliance of nomadic tribes, it was marked by the domination of the Karluk Khanate and on the Seven Rivers and the Tian Shan. And during this period, people of the South Siberia began to move up the Yenisei River, eventually reaching what is now Kyrgyzstan, and as a result of a 20-year war against the Kyrgyz from 820 to 841, the Kyrgyz came out victorious, and with the defeat of the Uyghur Khanate and the conquest of vast territories in Central Asia led to the creation of the Great Khanate, and with the formation of the Khanate from the 10th to the 13th century on the territory of Kyrgyzstan, Islamic culture began to spread, and this brought a rapid rise of urban culture, writing, literature, and history. And there's like some great thinkers like Suzuk Balagsaguni and Mahmud Kazgar created their priceless works during the same time. And since the middle of the 17th century and the middle of the 18th, Kyrgyz defended their independence in relation to invasion of the Jungar Khanate. In the mid-60s of the 1860s, no it's not, in the 60s of the 18th century, which would have been 1760s I think. So in Kyrgyzstan, and by the 20s and 30s of the 19th century, northern Kyrgyzstan fell under the influence of the Kokand Khanate, and at the end of the 18th and the beginning of the 19th centuries, tribes in northern Kyrgyzstan began independently set contracts with Russia. And in 1785, the first delegate attack Bashir was sent to Russia from the northern tribes. And in 1867, Kyrgyzstan started to operate administrative divisions and territorial governance in Russia. And the settlement and tax policies of the Russians saw worse than natural and economic oppression, and the first performance of the anti-colonial protests of Central Asia took place in the Fergana Valley in 1898 and in the city of Dijon. The accession process has led to a gradual change in the economy and economic structure of the Kyrgyz people, and they started studying geography, nature, history and culture of their own ancestors, which is seen as a progressive phenomenon. But the colonial policy of Russia led to an uprising in 1916, which only really ended in tragedy. And after the Great October Revolution of 1917 in Russia, which established the Soviet Union and the socialist system, the right of the peoples to self-determination and the formation of the Soviet Union, it became a historic turning point for the history of Kyrgyzstan. As the era of socialism transformed Kyrgyzstan and made it an industrial agrarian state, as diversified industry, transport, communications, technical equipment of agriculture, trade and other services have become like a non-organic component, part of the single economic complex of the Republic, and in general it successfully solved the problems of employment and raised living standards. Especially when the Soviet regime developed a fuel and energy complex, which in the share of the coal industry in the early 80 years went up to 40% of the extracted coal in Central Asia. As antimony G plant is a benchmark of the quality of the international market, as the products from Kyrgyzstan mercury plants were delivered to more than 40 countries, and a leading role of income, however, was still played in agricultural livestock, as Kyrgyzstan ranked third in the Soviet Union in absolute terms of sheep production, and second only to the Russian Federation and Kazakhstan. And a rate of growth of national income put Kyrgyzstan ahead of the other Soviet republics such as Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Lithuania, Moldova, Turkmenistan and Ethiopia, and they were equipped with modern conveniences and towns and cities. And the scientific and technological revolution had become not only a personal element of an industrial revolution, but also a social aspect in all of the Soviet Union. And it would be noted that the Kyrgyz men were a factor of what they called the Great Patriotic War, which was the war from 1941 to 1945, which was when Germany invaded the Soviet Union, and making a contribution to defending Moscow from Nazi attacks. And the people of Kyrgyzstan, about 360,000 Kyrgyz men, were sent to the front. And they fought on all fronts, and first only few were awarded the title of Hero of the Soviet Union, and 21 were awarded the Order of Glory of 3 degrees, as Kyrgyzstan had become the most reliable bastion of unified military and economic organisation of the country, evacuated businesses not only to recover but also expand its production capacity. So and one of the main directions of the agricultural development was the elimination of illiteracy and the creation of a new education system which had successfully operated in universities and secondary specialised educational institutions and trained skilled personnel, and the information and development of the sciences, and played a major role in Kyrgyz branch of the USSR in 1943, and received the status of Academy of Sciences in December 1954. And the national professional literature begins the creation of the writing of the Kyrgyz language. A special place in the national and world literature belongs to Chingiz Atimatov, whose work has been translated into more than 80 languages of the world. And successful development of the Kyrgyz culture got to professional art like theatre, music, visual and cinematography. And this way, for all the good things the Soviets did, it was still a totalitarian regime, which led to the deaths of many people and all. Now, in 1991, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, the Kyrgyz became independent and all, and as they declared themselves independent and sovereign state on August 31st and entered a phase of reform as the former totalitarian authoritarian regime of the CPSU was replaced by an authoritarian democratic state influenced on the principles of I just flew right up against my ear. Implementation of the principles of democratic governance, rather than the so-called public property state, were introduced in various forms of private ownership, and the plan's economy changed the market, especially for social homogeneity, shapes sharply differentiated, as the communist ideology has given way to bourgeois liberal collective consciousness. In social political terms, the Republic acquired all the attributes of a whole statehood and has become an equal member of the world community, but the gap in economic times of the former Soviet Union has made a bit more of a negative impact on the socio-economic situation of the country. In the connection with the increase of inflation process in 1993, which the national currency of Som, which allowed it to lead an independent financial and monetary policy. Same year, adopt the first constitution of independent Kyrgyzstan. However, the shortcomings of market reforms had led to a high state budget deficit, and the Republic is becoming an agro-industrial, and about half the population is below the poverty line. And a high degree of corruption and a sharp rise in crime, along with authoritarian power led Kyrgyzstan twice overthrew its regime of power. On the 24th of March 2005 and on the 7th of April 2010, after the translation of the Provisional Government of Kyrgyzstan established the Parliamentary Republic, Strogoku Kanesh, given wide powers instead of allocating all power in the hands of one person. And the current socio-economic situation makes it difficult for Kyrgyzstan to conduct a multi-vector policy, and it establishes the necessary contacts with a view to influence investments of the Republic. Appropriate, however, Kyrgyzstan has become a member of the UN World Trade Organization, the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, OSCE, UNESCO, the Commonwealth of Independent States, CIS, the Collective Security Treaty Organization, CSTO, and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO, Organization of Islamic Cooperation Issues, OIC, and the Economic Cooperation Organization, ECO, the Cooperation Council of Turkic-Speaking States, CCTS, and the making of integration steps in the Customs Union, the Eurasian Economic Community, and forging ties not only with the CIS but also abroad. And in spiritual life, the sovereign Kyrgyzstan has also undergone significant changes due to the process of democratization. In this regard, a series of laws on the field of education were created to adapt to the market economy, as the negative effects of economic crisis affected the activity of scientific institutions, but they also included Academy of Sciences, still trying to adapt to difficult conditions and concentrate on solving the priority directions and development of sciences. For the spiritual revival of society has also had a crucial respect for its cultural heritage, in particular to the master, like the Epic of Manas. I think they might be coming back to it though. However, it should be noted that the fact that the negative trends particularly affected the spirit of culture, which virtually survives on sponsorship of international organisations, nevertheless the state, in spite of some difficulties, yes, has taken several measures to establish its regulatory in its own new framework. And moving on to language, as it is very brief, as I have two shortish paragraphs. So yeah, Kyrgyz or Kyrgyz is a Turkic language with about 4.5 million speakers, mainly in Kyrgyzstan, but also in China, Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Turkey, Uzbekistan, Pakistan and Russia. It is the official language of Kyrgyzstan, together with Russia. It's closely related to Altai and is mutually intelligible with Kazakh. As Kyrgyz was written in a version of the Persian-Arabic script until 1928, and then with the Latin alphabet from 1928 to 1940, and then with the Syriac alphabet from 1940 till present. Though some people, especially in China, are using the Persian-Arabic script still, and after Kyrgyzstan became independent in 1991, there was a plan to reintroduce the Latin alphabet, but it is yet to be implemented and all. So yeah, moving on to legends, as it's also kind of short as well, and there's the myths and legends of Kyrgyzstan provide explanation for the things many seemed hard to explain, like the weather, the landscape, or even the history. However, the great warrior Manas was able to unite the warring tribes and bring peace to the region, as Manas was not only a historical figure, but also an example of who the Kyrgyz are, and who they want to be. And although some parts of the poem are legend, some parts are based in history, as a Kyrgyz legend of how the Bugu tribe came to the story. Is the story of a group's close connection with nature. And many legends in Kyrgyzstan tell about natural sites and how they were created, as Isik Kursk and Sari Chaluk both have creation legends about how the valleys came to be filled with water, and legends about Jetty Guz tells about the unique red rock formation. And since the nature of Kyrgyzstan is so striking, it is not unexpected that there are some legends about the formation to explain how these places came to be. So yeah, that's Kyrgyzstan for you. Sorry about the phone, as yeah, you just want to go like, oh. And all, so yeah, I'm gonna say bye for now, and I'll see you all very soon. Say au revoir for now.